You are back locked and loaded to the Keep the Change podcast, keepthechange.co.nz, money mail lessons in the audio format, so you don't have to do too much reading because we know people like to work at speed and don't always like reading. But here's a hack for you. Maybe on the next Keep the Change email, select all of the text, wait for the iPhone to suggest what you want to do with that text and hit the word speak, and it will speak out to you the words that are in that email and read it to you in Siri's voice and not mine. So it could be a little bit sexier, could be a little bit more succinct, maybe a bit faster, probably less human error and spelling mistakes and stuff like that it'll pick up. But a little hack for you that could speed up your time, especially if you want to use that for things outside of Keep the Change as well. But I'm not here to bring you life hacks just yet. I am here to bring you week 52 of Money Mail. The title was A Year's Worth of Money Mail. What's next? This is the 52nd week of Keep the Change. A whole year of sending out an email regarding money or something finance related. An email that you can learn from and that is intended to get you thinking. Even if you skim it, it's a useful weekly reminder to think about your finances. A push in the right direction. Every month, I have a meeting to review how many people have signed up, what's working well, and what to do for the coming month. Each week I get some help to put Money Mail on various social platforms as well. I try to reply to every single person who emails me, so that's about 3 people. I'm joking, there's actually a lot more than that, but anyway. Of course, the content has to be written too. It doesn't just think itself up and start typing itself. I know some people have given up on reading these. Imagine how they'd go trying to write them. Quitting is a massive disease in our society. We give up or quit something that we know we really should be doing. Sometimes it's because it's hard, and other times, well, maybe it's just boring. When I thought about starting to write these, I told myself I wouldn't send the first one unless I could see myself sending the 52nd one. Well, here we are today. Of the things that I've been successful with in my short life, they've mostly come down to consistency and stickability. I think that's a word. Often when we do things in the short term, we get dissatisfied with the initial results. The excitement wears off and we pull the pin. Things aren't happening fast enough for us. I'm sure you can relate to that. Like saving, investing, learning, exercising, meditating, saying thank you, stretching. You get the picture, right? Things take time. It sucks, but it's real. Success requires consistent effort over time, whether we like it or not. I recorded a podcast on cause and effect for our clients. You might find it useful too. It is part of a 15-part podcast framework called The Next Level. Good recent one in there too about worrying, which is a massive waste of time. It's a framework I follow myself, and I recorded it to help other people learn, and for myself too, to come back to and learn from when I get lost. It doesn't just happen. Getting lost does happen. So if you want to look at the Next Level series of content, there is a podcast within the podcast. It's the What's Next podcast. If you search for that, it'll come up under my accounting practice called Next Advisory, and we've got about 100 and something podcasts on there to help people upskill and learn more about business. And there's also a 15 podcast framework to help take you from the person you are today to the person you want to become, and step out in 15 episodes, about half an hour of each, exactly how to do that. It is thousands of hours of research, listening, studying, writing, and me trying to summarize my thoughts for some of the progress I've made with different things into 15 podcasts. So it is some grunty stuff and a little bit deep and vulnerable at times, but I think for some of you, you might enjoy it. Others won't be interested at all. So let's carry on. Over the last year, I hope that these emails have taught you something that you didn't know. I hope that they can teach you about consistency too, for whatever purpose that might help you and be useful for in your life. If these emails have helped you to take action in some form that you think you otherwise may not have, I'd love to hear from you and collate some stories to inspire other readers. Thanks to all of the people who have joined the Keep the Change community, signed up for night school, or come to a webinar. You've all helped get Keep the Change in front of thousands more people. Embrace the grind, it is good for us. Bring on the next 52. Luke. P.S. You are one of 3,652 recipients. Did you know it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days for a person to form a new habit? Want to learn more about habits? Check out jamesclear.com. A great book from James Clear called Atomic Habits. If you haven't seen any of his material, I highly suggest that you check that out. It's a very, very good book to teach you about how to set new habits, how we form them, how they don't treat us well, and how to replace bad ones with good ones and all sorts of good stuff. So don't sleep on that content if you do want to learn more about habits. Now, a little summary email for this one, 52 weeks in, wanting to basically explain that consistency is so important in our lives and in our finances as well. Often we can not see much progress in the short term, and it means that we decide, I don't want to do this anymore, and we go on to just finding something that's a little bit more rewarding or that's showing us a bit more result for the effort that we're putting in the short term, and we stick to doing that. But the longer that we can delay gratification and chase consistency, the rewards become exponential, and we learned about that with Warren Buffett's net worth increasing over time and how long that took him and just how exponential that growth was towards the end of his life. So I didn't want to start writing these unless I could do a whole year of them, because I just think there's and for me, myself personally, I'm a bit of an activator, so I love just getting started with things. But although that's great, it's also been to my downfall at times as well, because I'll start so many things and then actually not want to follow them through. So I wanted to make a commitment of consistency to myself, as I often talk to our accounting clients about, of actually, right, Luke, are you going to see this through? And so I said, well, I won't send the first one until I commit in my head to doing a whole year of them. And that was week number 52, and we did exactly that. So thank you for those of you who have read, who have listened, who have sent in feedback. I got some amazing feedback when I sent that email. I think it was just the fuel that I needed to keep going and turn some of these written emails into audio versions as well, and just take it another step further and be able to help even more people. And would love to be able to help 100,000 Kiwis live a better life in terms of their finances and just understand them better. And if we can all do that together, then I think we can make quite a big impact on the overall financial literacy of people around us, because if they go on to help 10 people as well, then we could be helping 1 million people, which is a lot of Kiwis. But I'll wrap it up. We've got 52 weeks done and dusted. I hope, if you're listening to this, then you probably learnt something. You wouldn't be if you didn't, I'd imagine. Well done for hanging in there. A lot of quitters along the way. A lot of unread emails, no doubt. I think the email gets opened about 40% of the time. So 6 out of 10 people are receiving it and not actually opening it. But hey, when they want to get to a point where they take their learning seriously, hopefully they'll come back and read them. Well done to you for continuing to learn. We'll see you in week number 53. Feel free to share the message of keepthechange.co.nz if you think it can help somebody else. Cheers.